Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a video on my soundcheck experience for 5 Sauce. If you guys didn't know, I really love the band 5 Seconds of Summer and I went to see them on the 5th of April 2016 at Sheffield. It was the first night of the UK leg of the Sounds Live Feels Live tour and I had the soundcheck package, and I've been getting a lot of questions about soundcheck and I've been watching a lot of these videos up towards my soundcheck, and it definitely helped me with what I should do and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd make this to help you guys out if you were going to a soundcheck 5 Sauce concert, or if you just want to watch to see what my experience was like. So let's get started. So my day was such an amazing day. It was probably one of the best days of my life. I've loved 5 Sauce for quite a while now, and last year I went to see them, but it was quite far back away from the stage, and up to before I went to see them I've never been standing in an arena before for a concert. I've only ever been sitting, and the closest I have been was last year, which was block 210 at Leeds First Direct Arena, which is quite away from the stage. There's like the floor, level 1 and level 2. I was level 2 and that was the closest I'd ever been. But this year I was standing right at the front barrier. So yeah, I will get on to how that happened. So basically we went to the arena at 8:30 in the morning because we didn't have school. It's the Easter holidays, and yep, so me and my friend's sister, my friend's called Georgia and my friend's sister is called Alex, so I'll just use their names so that you don't get confused. So me, Georgia and Alex all went to the Sheffield Arena at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. We had camping chairs and blankets. We came prepared and everyone else was sat on the floor. And when we got there, we sat in line. There wasn't that many people there. There was more people than we expected to be there, but it wasn't that many people. And these girls came round and they were doing a numbering system, which I've seen a lot of people talk about before in their soundcheck experience videos. And I think it was a very good idea because it just meant that we had an orderly fashion and that we could prove that we were that number in line if anyone tried to push in. So firstly, they came around and they said that I was 22nd in line, and they were counting the people in line, and I was 22nd and I was right pod, so I had 22R on my hand. But then they came around later and changed their idea and said that they were counting the left pod and the right pod. So they came around again and I ended up being 15th for the right pod, if you can understand what I mean, because some people were left pod as well. And I ended up being 15 for right pod. Alex was 16 and Georgia was 17, so we were all closer than we thought we were going to be, and it was really good. Nothing really much happened from that point on. We were just queuing, waiting. My friend Georgia brought her speakers, so we were listening to a lot of 5 Sauce and other bands while we were waiting. Georgia and Alex bought their iPads, but I only had my phone and I wanted to save my charge on it. Even though I did take 2 portable chargers, I still wanted to save my charge on it, so I didn't really do much. I went on my Nintendo DS and played Pokemon a little bit, but my hands were absolutely freezing, so I had to just like stay wrapped up in my blanket. And at about 11 o'clock, me and Alex, which is George's sister, went over to the like retail world, which is really near to the arena, which is really good because it's got like, it's not a retail world, it's just like a place where there's a big cinema and then there's loads of restaurants, so that's really good. And we went over there, we went to Subway and got dinner, which is quite early because it's like 11 a.m. in the morning, but we were really hungry by this point. So yeah, that's what happened then. So yeah, we went back over and we sat in line again because Georgia had saved our place in line, even though we did have numbers on our hands to prove that it was us. And a lot of people were going over to B&M Home Stores to get blankets because there was discounted blankets, and yeah, so we already came prepared with ours, so we didn't have to buy one. Then around 2 o'clock it was time to sign in for soundcheck. So we were queuing at entrance B, which is the main entrance, for basically the sign in for soundcheck. For actual soundcheck we went and queued somewhere else. But at 2 o'clock, well not 2 o'clock, at about 1:30 we started like standing up and starting to queue. So Georgia's dad came back and he brought us some chips from Burger King, and he bought Georgia a Subway, so Georgia did have some lunch. And we just like sat on the chairs still eating it, and then we started to stand up and Georgia's dad stayed with us. He took all of the chairs back to his car and stuff, and he took our coats and stuff because I didn't want to be wearing a coat in the arena because it's really warm. So I just had a t-shirt, a flannel and a coat, and then I gave him my blanket and my chair and my coat for him to take back to his car, so then I could get it later on when he picked us up. So yeah, we gave him our things, and then it was time to go in and sign in for sound check. So what we had to do is show them our tickets and tell them the person who booked it. So it was George's mum, so we just said George's mum's name, and then we got given these, which I'll show you right now. We got given a special VIP wristband, which is actually a festival band, and this little plastic bit here, it's like a lock, and you can only tighten it, you can't undo it. So I had to like research a method on how to get this off without cutting it, because I didn't want to cut it. So yeah, it was really hard to get off, but I managed to get it off by using the right method. But yeah, it just says VIP 5 Seconds of Summer, and we all had a pink one because we were in the right pod, and the left pod had like a really light green kind of whitish one. So yeah, we had a pink one because right pod. And then we also got this lanyard, which if you've watched these kind of videos before, you will know that you always get a lanyard when you go see 5 Sauce VIP. So it says 5 Seconds of Summer, Sounds Live, Feels Live VIP, no backstage access, no entry to venue without a ticket, and then it's just got all the UK dates on the back, and I just felt so important wearing this, and I'm gonna like save this because I absolutely love it. So we went and we got these, and then we got instructed to go back round the arena, up the stairs, and they would check our tickets, and then they would check our bags, and then we would go in. So we went round and we went up the stairs and we checked our bags and stuff, and then we all got in line for sound check, and we were all in the same like line because we'd all gone in the same line to get our like lanyard and wristband. So we're all in like the same order and the same number as we were before when we were lining up outside. So we were inside for this, so it wasn't bad. We were not cold as much as we were outside. We did have to sit on the floor. We didn't have to, we could have stood up, but if we wanted to sit, we had to sit on the floor. We had no chairs or anything, but it's not really anything to complain about. And we got into the arena to start queuing for sound check at about 2:30. Bearing in mind sound check's not supposed to start till 4:30, so we had an hour and a half to like just sit there and stuff. And if you are a VIP sound check person, you get priority access to merch. So the merchandise stand opens while you're in the queue, and you can go and get some merchandise if you would like. And we just like sat there going on our phones, and we went to the toilet. Obviously it's the time to go to the toilet, and then the merch stand opened. And I'm not sure if you guys know, but 5 Sauce do a limited edition poster for each venue where there is only 100 sold, and because we were priority access to merch, they had all of the posters there, and at first they were only selling these posters. The merch stand was not open. The only thing that they were selling were these limited edition posters, and I decided to get one. So here is my poster. It came in this massive like envelope, which I'm very happy that they put it in this, because it means that it wouldn't get bent or broken, especially considering the price. So this poster was £25, which is ridiculous, but I really wanted it, so I bought it. And it looks like this. And I'm not sure if you guys like are familiar with Sheffield, but there used to be 2 like towers that had like smoke puffing out of them. I'm not sure what they were, but they got like knocked down, and it's the 2 towers here in the background with 5 Sauce in smoke, and then it says RIP Towers. And I just thought it was really cool how they like remembered that there was towers and they got knocked down or whatever. But yeah, I just really love this poster. It was £25, and here in the bottom right hand corner it says 55 out of 100, so this means that this is the 55th poster sold, and yeah, that just makes me feel really special. So I bought this, and I'm going to frame it and put it on my wall because I don't want it to get ruined, considering the price and considering how it's limited edition, and none of these will ever be sold again. I'm just so happy that I managed to get my hands on one of these. So then we'd got our posters and we went and sat back down, but then we saw people like who had been stood up coming to sit back down with merch and t-shirts and stuff, so we were like, okay, the merch stand has opened. So me and Georgia went, and Georgia bought a t-shirt for her and a t-shirt for her sister and a poster, and I only bought this wristband because I bought a wristband last year, so I thought I might as well collect it. And this is the one from last year, this is the one from this year, and it just says 5 Sauce, Sounds Live, Feels Live, and then it's got like the little safety pin heart, if you guys are familiar with that. So yes, I just bought that. That was £5, so overall I spent £30 on merch. I also, when I got home the next day, which was yesterday, I saw these pictures that apparently were on sale, and they were like, they were signed, but they were probably just photocopied, and I really wanted to get those. Like, if I would have seen them, I never saw them when I was there, but if I would have seen them I would have definitely got those as well, but I never saw them, so I'm really annoyed that I never saw them. But yeah, and I didn't want a t-shirt because I probably wouldn't wear it. I don't really wear t-shirts like that, and I'm not going to spend £25 on a t-shirt that I'm not going to wear, if you get me. So I didn't get a t-shirt, I just got a wristband and the poster, and I'm super happy with the merch that I managed to get. 4:20 comes along and we've been told that we are meant to be taken down for sound check at 4:20. So we get taken down for sound check. We're already in a room, like in the arena, you know, where like the entrances for the certain blocks are. We're already in one of those rooms, and we just get taken down, like past loads more other rooms like that, just to another room exactly the same where there's doors, and then we get taken down. But anyway, it's meant to start at 4:30 and it doesn't. It starts at 5. So basically, I'm not sure why it started that late, but it did. It started really late and we don't understand why it did, but it did. So when we got down to that room, 5 Sauce were in the arena and they were playing songs, and they were like playing them and we were singing it back to them, like we were singing the lyrics back, and whenever we sang they stopped playing the instruments, and it was like they were like teasing us so much, like because they knew that we wanted to go in and stuff, and like they could hear us singing, and they were just like, they stopped playing the instruments whenever we sang back. So it was nice, but it was also really annoying because it was like, let us in. So anyway, we got let in at 5 o'clock, and because we bought soundcheck standing, we thought we'd be standing, but we weren't. We were all seated because there's soundcheck standing and soundcheck seated. The soundcheck seated was seated on one side and the soundcheck standing on the other. We got sat down and we were 3rd row away from the stage, so that's always good, and the lights were all on and people were just coming and checking the stage. And then a man came in and told us that we weren't allowed phones, even though I did take a picture before the boys came on, but that didn't really matter. Because they wanted it to be an experience that like we viewed not through the screens of our phones, and that we really like paid attention to and stuff. They wanted it to be like that, which I think is a good idea, because it just like, it's just awkward when they're like so close and you're like filming them, like just no. So I understand why they didn't let us film in there, and I'd have probably preferred it that way as well. And yeah, so we were sat there and they were checking the stage, and then suddenly there was like no music on or anything, and suddenly out of nowhere Sexy and I Know It starts playing, and we all like jumped, like me and Georgia, my friend, we just jumped, and I was like, whoa. And then 5 Sauce come out of the corner and it's like, oh my gosh, they're real, they're not people on my screen, and I'm like and Michael comes up to the microphone and starts singing along to Sexy and I Know It, and we're like, yes Michael, you will. And it's just great. And then they come on stage, they stand to position and they start singing Catch Fire, which is always a good time, and we all sing along, we all stand up and dance, and it's really good because the arena's not full, all the lights are still on, the lights never dimmed when they did sound check. So yeah, it was really good when they sang Catch Fire. And then they said they were going to come and answer some questions. So they came right down to the catwalk area and they sat down and they like dangled their legs over the catwalk area, and they were so close to us because we were only 3rd row away. So the catwalk was here and there was like a little space with the barrier, 1st row, 2nd row, 3rd row, and they were so close. It was so weird seeing them up close because I only really see them like on my screen, like pictures and videos, and now they're actually in front of me and I'm like, what? You are real. So that was surreal as hell. So they came and sat down and nearly everyone put their hand up. We got told before that we just had to put our hand up and someone would come to us with the microphone, which made me think that everyone was going to be able to ask a question back, although I knew that that wasn't going to happen. And the man also said that we shouldn't ask stupid questions. For example, Michael, will you marry me? Because he said that that was a stupid question and we were all laughing at him. But anyway, everyone put their hands up, and there's only a few questions that I can remember, so I will tell you those. So 2 girls asked, what would you do if you knew that you wouldn't get caught? Which I thought was like a really good question, and Michael was like, oh, good girls are bad girls that haven't been caught, and we were just like, oh Michael, good one. And then Ashton said that he bought his first car from a priest, and he like trusted this priest because, you know, like Jesus and everything, and he trusted this priest because, like, you know, priests are meant to be like, you know, trustworthy and stuff, or whatever, something like that. He said that. And he said that one day he was driving along in this car with Callum and he heard something and it sounded like a can scraping across the floor. Ashton said, "Callum, do you hear that?" And Callum said, "Yeah." And then they got out and they saw that the engine was trailing across the floor. And Ashton said if he could do something without being caught, he would go and drive a car into the priest's house. So yeah, that was funny. We all laughed. And that's all I can really remember from the answers of that question. Someone asked Michael what colour he was going to dye his hair next, which, like, stupid question. Like, my friend rolled her eyes and Luke looked at my friend and started laughing at her and I was like, yes, Luke, like, no, like, why are you asking this question? Like, so, yeah, someone asked Michael what colour he was going to dye his hair next and he said he was going to have a break from it and stuff, which I honestly kind of respect him for. Like, I understand why he wouldn't want to carry on dyeing his hair because he does dye it a lot and it's really damaging to it. And I don't think he wants to go bald. But anyway, we kind of know that he's not going to dye his hair for a while because he usually dyes it every like 2 months or something and he hasn't dyed it for ages. So I kind of knew that he was having a break from it, like, but yeah. And then these two other girls said, what do you whisper to each other on stage, which is also a really good question. And they were like, in Amnesia when they sit down with the acoustic guitar and they're sat at the back, like Michael and Callum, they just, or Michael and Luke, I can't remember, they were like, they just like say, "Hi, how's your day been?" and stuff, and that's how they like whisper to each other on stage or something like that. Apparently they just have a full-on conversation or something. And then this other girl said, this other girl's question was, "How do you feel about this?" And she had a poster and it had the title, Long Way Home Tour Part 2, and it had all the dates she was going to and tick boxes at the side, and she'd tick Sheffield off. And they were like, "Part 2," and she was like, "Yeah, I did it last year." Ashton was like, "Oh, I remember seeing you put a poster like that from last year with things being ticked off." And when she stood up, sorry, this was like before all of the answers happened, when Ashton said that, but when she stood up she had a Pikachu top on and Michael was like, "Oh, Pika," and I was like, okay, that's so cute, because it said Pika on it and Michael's like, "Oh, Pika," and and I was like, "Oh, it's so cute," and she was like, "Oh, I have one for you," so she got to give Michael a t-shirt with Pikachu on it, and it was like, "Oh, that's so cute, that is gold, I wish I could do that." But yeah, and then she said, "How do you feel about this?" with the poster, and Ashton said that. And then Luke said, "A sad thing that we're not doing this year is we're not playing Long Way Home because the title on her poster said Long Way Home Tour." And they were like, "Oh, we're not playing Long Way Home," and we were all like, "Oh," and they were like, "Oh, we'll play it next if you want." So they did play it next, and that was the second song in soundcheck. Then soundcheck ended, it was all like surreal, and we got taken back outside for queuing up for the actual show. And we got told that we'd be let in before general admission would be let in. So we were all queuing up outside the doors for the actual show, and these two girls tried pushing in, and there was this one girl who was 10th in the right pod, and she was like proper coming to everyone saying, "There's two girls right and they're pushing in," and we were just like, "Oh, don't push in." And they were there, and they didn't have a number on the hand, so they couldn't prove that they had been even remotely close to the beginning of the queue, and they ended up going to the, like, not to the back, but like they ended up going halfway down anyway because I think we were annoying them. But that's a good job that they didn't get in before we did. We got let into the show, and this girl who was really mad and stuff said we all need to link arms to like block anyone from pushing past. So we all linked arms, and then when we were going down the stairs, my friend George's bag got caught on one of the railings and she got like way behind me and Alex. Alex is her sister, and we were walking and we were looking behind us thinking, "Georgia, like, no, we can't lose you." But then Georgia told me that this girl wouldn't let her pass. Like, she was like, "No, you can't come past." So Georgia just shoved her out of the way, and she came back to us, which is good because we thought we'd lost her for a second. And then we got into the right pod, and obviously there's the catwalk here, so there's the right pod here, and then there's the right pod at the front, so it's like a corner. Obviously it's like a square, and we wanted to get to where the catwalk was, but it was totally full. Like, there was not enough room for 3 people there, so we just went to the front row barrier instead. We got right to the front of the barrier, and oh my gosh, it was like so good. We got front barrier, like what? Like, there was no one behind us, and I've never been to a standing arena concert before. The closest I've ever been is like second tier. Before this, the closest I've ever been is front row now, so that's good, I guess. Like, what? So yeah, we got front row barrier and the wait began because we got in at 6:30, and the first act, which was Desiree, that was the support act, he didn't come on till 7:45, so we were waiting for a good like hour or something. And the security people, like the stewards, brought out this bucket of water and like cups, and we were all asking for water, and they had to like dip the cups in the water, and it was so weird, like a bucket of water. But yeah, yeah, and we were right in front of the speakers, so yeah, my ears were ringing that night after I got home. So Desiree came on, he was good, and he did some really funny dance moves. Like, me and George's sister were like laughing at his dance moves. I know we probably shouldn't have done that, but it was really funny, we couldn't help it. And he was really good. And then Desiree went off, and at 8:30, Five Sauce were meant to come on. They didn't come on exactly at 8:30 because they're always late, you know that. But yeah, they came on and it was really dark, and their first song was Carry On, and I filmed them all coming on. Like, I've got some clips that I'm going to insert at the end of the video, but actually I deleted all of my pictures before the concert, and I made sure they were all deleted from my recently deleted as well, thinking I'd have loads of space to record videos and take photos. And then about a quarter of the way through the concert, probably not even a quarter of the way through, my storage ran out, so I don't really have that many videos, but I've been like asking people to send me their videos, and I'm going to give them credit as well. They sang like a few songs from the new album, but there was only apparently 7 songs from last year's set list that wasn't played this set list, so there's quite a lot of songs off their old album as well, basically. They didn't play Broken Home, they played Catch Fire instead, which I would have liked to see Broken Home, because we did hear Catch Fire in Soundcheck, but not everyone else did hear Catch Fire in Soundcheck. But yeah, it's fine, I'm not complaining. Like, I still got to see them, I was front row, I can't really complain. I also made a sign, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but last year during Rejects, Five Sauce invited someone up on the stage. So I made this sign saying, I chose you, so will you choose me, and it's a Pokemon themed sign because I know they all like Pokemon, and it's got like a Pokeball on it. And they didn't invite anyone on stage, so I never used this side, but as you guys know, Michael is my favourite, so this side is also a Pokemon themed side, and it says, Michael, I choose you, because Michael's my favourite. Even though I was on Callum's side, every time Michael came over to Callum's side, I was holding this up, and basically this is what happened. When Michael came over, I was holding it upside down, wasn't I? And he looked at it and he looked so confused, he was like, what? Like, and then he kind of like started laughing a little bit. So I think he was laughing at the fact that I was holding it upside down, and then I looked and I was like, oh my god, I'm holding it upside down. So I turned it the right way around, and then after that he never came back over. He stayed a lot at his side, Michael, and Luke came over to our side quite a lot, and like there was a lot of eye contact made with Luke and Callum, like not directly to me, but you know, just around the area where I was, so that was always a good time, like, yeah. And yeah, so the concert was generally really good. I'm going to insert a lot of, well, not a lot, as much as I have of videos and photos, but yeah, that was the concert. We got front row. I can't believe we got front row. Like, Callum and Luke, the most flawless, amazing, like so up close, and obviously Michael as well, but Michael didn't come to our side that much. So yeah. And Michael did, in Jet Black Heart, the lights all dimmed, and Michael came up to the microphone and he started singing his verse, and then they all came in after that and they started singing it together, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I really want to find a video of that because I never got to film that, and I really wish I had. But yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but Michael makes a song up about the venue where they are, and he made one up about Sheffield, and it was like, she's like Sheffield, I can't do it. It was like, she's like Sheffield, whoa, why can I not say it? But yeah, I have a video of it, so I will insert that at the end as well. And also, they were talking about Sheffield because there's a place called Sheffield in Australia, and they were talking about how it had a nickname like Sheffy or something, Sheffy or Sheffers. And then they were like, does your Sheffield have a nickname? And they were like calling it Sheffers, so now everyone's calling it like Sheffers Squad, like all the people at the Sheffield Sounds Like Feels Live concert are now the Sheffield squad, and Michael was like, we can even say it when something's like awesome, like that's so Sheffers, and now everyone's saying that's so Sheffers, because I'm in this group chat with all the people who went, and we're all like that's so Sheffers whenever something good happens. So yeah, you wouldn't get it if you weren't there, but basically that's so Sheffers. The concert was so Sheffers. 5 Sheffers of summer. So yeah, at the end of the concert we all went outside round to the back. Last year in Leeds they all went straight away, so we assumed that that was the same thing that happened this year, but it turns out that they hadn't already gone. They were just sat in the tour buses, and at about 1 AM Ashton came out of the tour bus and met like the few people that were left at the venue, and then he went back into the tour bus and with all the others, and then they went at about 2 AM, but I had already gone by this point. I wasn't there at 1 AM. And also, when Ashton threw his drumstick, I forgot to mention this, when Ashton threw his drumstick, he threw it directly, like, because we were front row, and the row behind us, like the girls on the row behind us caught it, and my friend Georgia, Ashton is her fave, and my friend Georgia, she didn't catch it, but she turned around and just grabbed it, and there were like about 6 girls holding the drumstick, and the security guard had to come up and say, right, you need to decide who's having it, you can't snap it in half, like just decide who's having it. And I was like, gosh guys, it's just a drumstick, and I feel bad for saying that because it's not just a drumstick, it's Ashton's drumstick, and I feel bad for saying it, but I just wanted to go, and they were just like holding this drumstick and they couldn't like snap it or anything. So basically what happened, they all did rock paper scissors and this girl won. Georgia didn't win, so Georgia didn't get the drumstick, but yeah, you can't win everything. So she still touched it though, she still touched the drumstick, which Ashton touched. I didn't touch it, so she got further than me. So yeah, that was the concert. I did it in a little bit of a weird order towards the end there. But yeah, that was the concert, that was soundcheck. It was such an amazing day. I really want to go again next year and hopefully get to ask my question. By the way, my question for soundcheck was, what's your favourite song to perform from the new album so far? And yeah, I just actually love Five Sauce so much, and I've been wearing these bands ever since the concert, and yeah, I absolutely love them. I hope you enjoyed this video guys. If you guys are going to any soundcheck for Sounds Like Feels Live, I hope you have an amazing day, and if you're just going to the show in general, I hope you have an amazing day. Like honestly, they put on such a good show and it's just actually amazing. And also a tip, if you are going to soundcheck, I would say get there early, otherwise you are not guaranteed a good spot in the queue. But you can push, I guess, you can push to the front if you want. I'm just saying, try and get there early. Honestly, the time flies so fast, at least it did for me. And yeah, if you are going early, take a blanket or some kind of like camp chair and get someone to come and pick it up from you if you can, because that was like, that maximised our comfort level. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are going to any Sounds Like Feels Live concert dates, then tell me in the comments below and let me know any more questions if you want to ask any more questions about the soundcheck experience or just the concert in general, and I will answer them in the comments below. I'm sorry that I didn't upload a video last week. I did explain on my Twitter why, but next week I will be uploading the Q&A that I promised you from last week. I'm very sorry I didn't mention that at the beginning of the video. But yeah, I will see you next week. Maybe not, because as I said, exams are coming up soon, so I might not see you next week. My videos might not be as like consistent as they have been for the past few months, so I might only see you every other week now, but in the summer I will be coming back with a lot more videos. So yeah, love you guys so much and see you whenever I see you. Bye!
Now you know it. Caught up in a moment, but can't you see in time? 'Cause I've gone, and there's a hurricane underneath that, trying to keep us apart. Alright, with the boys that we're gonna leave. This one's got drum and bass. She's like Sheffield. 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 But you gotta sing it like John Mayer. Everyone has to sing it like they're John Mayer. So 1, 2, 3. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield.
Alright, now a fast one.
No good.
Yeah, I want a fast one. I want a fast one.
Can we do something?
Alright, that's easy. I got it.
She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield.
Give me cut time.
She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. And I want to say she's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield. She's like Sheffield.
I'm 21, baby.